Just checking that the stream is up here. It's coming, a little bit behind us. Hi there, my name's Kirby Shibaga. I'm with the Seattle VR-ARA, which stands for VR-AR Association here in Seattle. And tonight we have a really cool stream for everybody who's with us. We're going to be talking about MetaVRse, which is a web-based tool, a platform, and also HoloLens 2, Firefox reality browser, and generally how important the web is to XR. So let me just very quickly here share some content with you. And pop over there and here. Okay. It was a late, long day at work, so I'll skip that screen. Here we are. So we have a Microsoft folks and MetaVRse with us today. For those new to VR-AR Association, basically the motto here is grow, learn, connect. And we're all in this global association to help each other do exactly that, grow our business, learn new techniques, and connect, work together. So at the end of this, if you're interested in joining or finding out more, you can hit a couple Twitter accounts here, or just send me an email, Kirby@the-VRARA. So as I mentioned, we have two presenters tonight. We're going to listen to Julie Smithson first from MetaVRse, and we're going to hold questions. We will see them in the chat so we can answer perhaps some of them live. But at the end of her presentation, we'll take a few questions, and then we'll go to the second part of the presentation with Isagal, who's a senior developer advocate at Microsoft. One last thing. We do have a code of conduct. It is based on the Immersive Web Working Group. Actually not based, it is the Immersive Web Working Group Code of Conduct. So tonight, grow, learn, and connect. All right, Julie, you're up.
All right, great. Can you hear me okay, Kirby?
Yep.
Yeah, great. Okay, I'm gonna start sharing my screen and get my my presentation ready. Just give me the okay that you can see my screen. Are we good, Kirby? Can you see my screen?
We're good.
Yeah, okay,
yep.
Great. Okay, thanks very much, everybody, for coming and joining again tonight. If you were here last week, I know it was a little bit thrown off with the event cut short a little bit. So Isagal and I are here to make up for it and showcase our companies together once again. But I'd like to introduce you to MetaVRse. MetaVRse is a universal XR creation platform. And if you quickly want to take a screenshot of that or grab that with your device, the QR code, it'll take you right to our website, which I'm going to take you a little bit of a tour on. My name is Julie Smithson. I'm the Chief Learning Officer at MetaVRse. I'm also the co-founder of XR Ignite and producer of XR Collaboration. I'm a VRARA member and education student co-chair. I'm also a big part of the XR Bootcamp Advisory and an Educators in VR member. So that's a little bit about me. Oh, I think I missed a slide. Oh, sorry. I thought I missed a slide, but that's okay. I'll come back to it in a minute. So everybody knows the future of communication, 3D, virtual, augmented, mixed reality, all have the ability to add $1.5 trillion to the global economy by 2030. This is the slide I thought was first. I just wanted to share a little bit about our MetaVRse family and the tools and resources that we have out there. Myself, I run the XR for Learning podcast and news outlet. And we also have Alan Smithson running the XR XR for Business podcast. And that's where I've learned a lot of what I know about what the industries are doing with this XR technology. And it's through our education of that we're able to share our knowledge about the industry and everything about it. So XR collaboration came together through the pandemic and is a global resource for collaborating online using XR collaboration platforms. And there's a global directory in there that you can take a look at, over 70 different platforms that you can connect with online. Excuse me, I'm just going to take a drink. So XR Ignite, that's our community hub to support XR startups. And then I'd like to introduce you to the MetaVRse Universal 3D Creation Platform. So the MetaVRse engine, this Audi here was built on our engine, is easy to learn, easy to create, and easy to share. And with the 7.5 billion 3D enabled devices out there globally, we actually do have access to provide 3D into many different applications reaching right around the world. And we all know that we're going to go from phone to face and over the next 3 to 5 years. And that's where Icicle and Microsoft and HoloLens tools start to take over. But right now we have so many devices that provide 3D enabled experiences and interactions. So we built our 3D game engine, which basically runs on JavaScript in the back end. And there's about 13 million JavaScript developers around the world within Unity and Unreal. Obviously, those engines have provided us with the experiences that we've had to date, but ours basically runs on the web. We offer 3D being web-enabled. Somebody's microphone is on there. And we also push the learning curve to learn our MetaVRse engine is it only takes 1 to 2 weeks to learn this. And I actually learned it in over just a few hours. So it's really, really easy to learn. And we also offer on-prem hosting, which is something that the other engines are not able to do. So we're holding a pretty powerful engine when it comes to distributing 3D on web. And Sakar Keda from Oracle, he's been working with our engine, and he's already witnessed that MetaVRse's engine is 3 times faster and 2 times simpler than building with Unity. So again, if you go to this QR code, it'll take you to some of the demos, which I'd like to continue showing you. This is our website here. And on the website, you can actually experience the power of 3D on any device instantly. Our engine runs on every browser and is agnostic to all of the browsers out there. You can use it for product visualization, customization, try before you buy, virtual showrooms. We do have web-based end-to-end solutions, build once, deploy everywhere. As I said, it's completely agnostic, and we're working on synchronous systems so that you can start to communicate in these 3D experiences together. And that's the key to collaboration, is being able to experience 3D technology all together. So no coding required. What we did is we started to build out code snippets to help build out configurations and HUDs to be able to add the basic controllers and configurators within the spaces. We do have a robust JavaScript support in the back end that you can open up and manipulate that code if you wish. But one of our most impressive things about this engine is the ability to push out the content immediately, not without having to go through an app. So, for example, these frames, I'm just going to use my mouse here. I'm running this completely on the web, and this was created in our engine. You have the experience to go a little closer and take a look at any kind of animated CAD model. Remember, this is all running natively on web, being able to interact and, basically use it for an immersive experience for any type of, retail, marketing, training, or education experience. Putting CAD models or running engines and seeing them up close and how they work, and being able to do that together with other people. It's amazing that we can do this now. And as I said, this is all completely running on web, designed within our engine, and all drag and drop. Configurators for particular models can be done to offer different perspectives. And I'm going to see if I can do this, because I think this one is, oh, there's the colors. There we go. And you can basically tailor people's choices and perspectives on different models in 3D, and just by having the ability to design and put in your own perspectives, and using this 3D technology to share and run through those concepts of rapid prototyping, it's very powerful, especially during a time when we're dealing with rapid innovation and design. So I want to show you really quickly, this is our engine layout and the dashboard. And what I want to do is just take you through a couple of really quick experiences. And I'm going to load up one of these models that we have and take you on a little tour of the dashboard itself. So while it's pulling up, one of the things I talk about a lot is how we need to introduce 3D learning to our education system and into our communities within business to help upskill and understand spatial computing. So through our website, through our engine, and I'm really hoping this pulls up right now, because I've got a lot of things going on my screen. There we go. I hope everybody can see my screen. I'm just going to adjust it a little bit here. And it's fully adjustable. As you can see, let me just grab this. Oh, funny. Just a second. Let me grab it. There we go. Okay. So I'm missing a part of this, and I'm not sure why. I think I need to reboot this this particular screen, and I'm just going to, maybe because it was sitting idle, just give me 2 seconds, and hopefully it'll come back in a little faster than it did. But yeah, just running through the entire web engine, understanding textures and animations, the way that lighting is projected on certain things. It really does. I'm laughing at myself now because it's not coming up, and I'm wondering if this is my faux pas in technology this week. Right before this, I did a full test, and I'm like, come on, let's go. Come on. Okay, well, let me see. Oh, there you go. Unresponsive, maybe because too many things going on here. Let's go back to my website, where we can actually, if I go right into, let's go manufacturing. If I go right into manufacturing into our website, we've got a picture here of our of an engine, of the G-Wagon engine, and we'll be able to witness just the interactivity of 3D on the web. Just give it a second. Maybe this is a good time for questions. Oh, come on.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Kirby. Help me out here. I'm just wondering what my system's doing here.
So is this built on top of 3JS or Babylon?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah, it's our own rendering engine. I'm going to try and reboot it up here in a second. I'm going to open a brand new tab. And I'm going to close some of these tabs out, because I think this is my problem of sharing screens and all of these things. It's our own proprietary software, and it was built as a mobile application first. So that's the power of it. And it's got JavaScript in the back end.
Great. Yeah, so mobile first, web first.
Yes, exactly. And we do have the ability to push AR through it. I am not sure what's going on here. And oh, see, a part of it's showing. My my computer's running really hot right now. And the great thing is about, even about these experiences is that they can run on your desktop if they're preloaded as well, right? So you don't always have to call them up to perform. Once they're there, they can just run in the background. But having my engine show up right now would be really, really great. So let me try and pick it. I'm going to pick a different project because maybe that project that I was in is not, that could have been it too. You can just hear it humming in the background. Does anybody have any questions so far about it? I know you'd like to see it. I would really like to get into the engine. But right now it seems to be struggling, and I'm just hoping that nobody. There.
No,
awesome.
I remember that happens a lot with web pages sometimes.
That's right.
And it's,
well, oh, there. Oh, can you see it now? You can see this, right?
Awesome.
Okay. Whew. Okay, so let's take a quick look at this and let me take a quick tour. So when you start a project in the MetaVRse engine, we automatically pull up this cube. It just gives somebody something to take a look at. So when you have a cube, when you have a 3D object, this one is an FBX. And when you download that FBX of an asset, it turns into our format, which is able to publish the 3D experience immediately out there. So of course you also have the lighting, and this area here on your left-hand side describes your scene. So you've got your 3D assets and the lights that are in here. You've got every single dimension and from front, left, back, right, and you can manipulate the colors too. So, if you wanted to scale back and pick a particular light source, this one here, and adjust it to be brighter, you can see automatically that the lighting on this side of the cube is a lot brighter, right? Let me take you on a tour of the rest of them, and then we'll talk about textures and how we can transform them. So right along here, you can add an additional light. So if you need an extra light source, like I added on here, you can add another one for the other side, and you can actually use the gizmo to direct and move and shift them into the different position that you want to, or you can reflect them here on the right-hand side where your inspector is. Down here below is where you keep your assets. So your skybox, if you wanted to add a skybox or another different model within this scene, then you would add it here. And then textures, which I'm going to go through in just a second. Down here below, you also have your assets, and eventually there will be access to direct asset stores where you can download. Up here, this is where your gizmo can turn on and off. And if you can actually turn the grid marks on and off as well, just to see what your scene would look like without them there. This position here just centers you. If you're looking to see where your world is and you want to know exactly where your center is, that's where I labeled my center when I created this this cube. So coming back to textures, and grabbing the mesh. This is your mesh inspector on the right-hand side. And the materials, can go by each side of the mesh, top, bottom, side 1, 2, 3, and you can also grab it by the root as well. So whatever you decide to influence within the object itself, let's pick this side right here, and we're going to zoom in a little closer. First of all, I'm going to grab the right root. So it's side 2. And we can actually just change the albedos to whatever color we want. We can change them into, oh, I picked the wrong side. Here, hold on 2 seconds. There, that's the side I started with. Here we go. Okay, So you can actually change the back end of the albedos. You can change the metalness, and you can adjust the shininess of your metal. Here, let me go in closer without the, there we go. Now you can see. So you can actually adjust, and however real you want to make the image itself, or the experience or the scene or the object. This is where you can adjust them. You can either adjust them by numbers or by just by the sliders, and add your normals or your not. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Being able to publish things. This is our this is kind of the masterpiece of being able to publish so quickly. And if you wanted to take a look at and throw your smartphone up, your device, scan that QR code, or drop in this link right here, the URL, you can see that in your space right now. And this is the power of our engine, is being able to produce 3D on web instantaneously. The QR code obviously sends it right into the back end and opens it. We can also produce experiences using augmented reality as well. And for that, we use our One App framework in the back end. You download it once and it runs in the back end. And for augmented reality experiences, we use that. For 3D on web, it's direct proprietary on our browser. So being able to upload, and I'm just going to turn this off right here. You can just turn that off and on. And I want to show you how easy it is to quickly import. Let me get our VRA array. You guys don't need to see all this stuff, but basically I'm going to, oops, one more. I'm going to import all of these into this file. I'm going to create a new folder, and let's call this VRA array. Oops. VRA array Seattle, and we're going to import all of those files. And I'm going to show you exactly what I imported. So first of all, I have a cube, and this is actually a model, which I should have downloaded that into the model file just to organize it myself. But as you can see, simple model, there you go. And if you select whatever side, what we can do is drag and drop the images that I pre-prepared. And these can be images, they can be videos. In our next push of our sprint, we are actually going to be uploading videos. So you can actually upload videos to, whoops, that's not the right one. Hold on, let me get there. There we go. I did plan this with everybody's logo, I promise. Watch this, and then let me get the Microsoft logo. And I'm gonna produce this right so you guys can see how easy it is to drag and drop. And as you can see, that one there, maybe we need a little bit more light on that, light on this particular side. So I can actually adjust the lighting and pick it up right there. And we can increase the intensity of that particular side just so it has a bit more brightness. Coming back in. Let me just grab, I think, the Seattle logo. There we go. Do we want a bit more brightness on the Seattle logo? That would be the top. Let me just shift this down and increase the intensity there. So we've got our cube, and I'm going to turn off the grid marks. You can add configurators to this. You can add you can actually add HUDs to be able to change the perspective. You can make a red box and a blue box and have people choose. You can connect it with IoT sensors. And what I'm going to do right now is I am going to publish this and publish it. And then if you're watching, hold up your device, take a look at this cube, and what I just created right in front of you, you should have. And you can actually drop the code in, the URL into your website, embed it into your website, or you can build it into Android or iOS coding. So that's how easy it is to use our 3D engine. It's fun. I've just started trying it myself. So I'm not a creator, and I'd like to make that clear. I was never really a creator. I'm a techie. I love this. I think the potential of 3D for education, training, marketing, e-commerce, the power of the QR code, being able to rapidly innovate and contextualize, and you can change, and we can make something more metallic, more white, more rough, more add normals and things like that, and change the lighting on things, and then just I can publish it again and it can be different. I can add a skybox to this entire area, and I think I actually did, and I this year, I think this one was a skybox. And if I highlight skybox right on the world, and I close out this skybox here, see if this one was the one. And it might take a second to download because it's a little bit of a bigger picture. If I show the skybox, it worked. So that should be Seattle's waterfront. Correct me if I'm wrong. It is a stock photo, as you can see, but it's a 360 stock photo that I just quickly dropped in and created that experience. So here, let me publish it again. I'm going to take the gizmo out, and this light here, I'm actually going to turn that off so you don't see it. And I'm going to publish it again. There you go. And if you make sure you close out your tabs, because you might have the previous QR code loaded in there. Scan it again, and you should be able to see Seattle background in that skybox of the experience. So that's the MetaVRse engine, and really the potential is in the creator. So our mission is, our underlying mission is to democratize education by 2040. And having a tool like this to create and rapidly innovate and be able to interact and use it for multiple different purposes, for business, for training, overlaying augmented reality manuals onto books and textbooks, and dropping that experience in from anywhere. Really, the potential is unlimited and for every single industry. So, we'd love to see what you create. Would love to see what everybody creates. I think getting this into the hands of kids and the next generation to help us solve the world's biggest problems. That's where I'd love to see this. I'd love to see, I'm looking forward to us going to our next sprint where we will be supporting USDZ and GLTF files in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Right now, you can upload FBXs and OBJs automatically into this and start adding textures into those 3D objects and making things come to life from every different perspective. So thank you so much. Let me know if anybody wants any of these QR codes from me from what I've worked on, and let me know if you have any questions. And thanks for bearing with me while I got through some of those connectivity issues.
Yeah, thanks very much, Julie. That was. I'm going to have to try the engine. I haven't played with that one yet. Yeah. So do you guys actually have like a trial program, or how does that work?
The basic model, we can drop it into the comments. The basic model allows everybody to try it out and create their first projects. And I think the power, once they discover the power of how easy it is to drag and drop, and just anybody, teams being able to share these experiences. You can actually upload and share MetaVRse engine experiences really easy in that editor as well. So we've made it easy to start to collaborate right from the start with anybody else that's using the engine. So we can help them bring their teams to collaborate in this interactive space.
Fantastic. And I'm just going to put this up on the screen. You should see a question there.
Hold on, I got to switch over to the comments. so simple. How can people in education and metaverse, how to enhance their classroom experiences? Yeah. So this is where it comes, the creativity comes into play. And I think using the next generation to help us solve education and build that hybrid experience is a great way to introduce innovation, introduce the idea of the hackathon. This is one of the ideas that I'm trying to share out there is, have a Metaverse Engine hackathon where, all the students learn about spatial computing and how to interact with something, because it really is that gateway into AR and VR and web AR and all of these things that are about to come down the line, where we do put the phone in front of our face or the device and on our face, and our entire world is augmented and digitalized. So it really is it's that stepping stone, and giving the kids the power to create it's going to be very powerful. So using them as part of the solution is the key, I think.
Yeah, that's awesome. Definitely agree with project-based learning and hackathons. Fabulous. Hello, Fabio. He says, hi, cheers from Colombia. Hey.
Hello from Colombia.
Fantastic. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, I guess this is time where Icicle comes in and she talks about the Microsoft HoloLens, because this is kind of like the stepping stone. You create these 3D experiences and then you start to put them in the devices that we have around the world. But for more advanced solutions like business and enterprise, where they're starting to engage, being able to collaborate right away in 3D and drag and drop without the hassle of coding or the knowledge base of coding, that's where the Metaverse solution comes into play. But, obviously Microsoft HoloLens has been doing some incredible things. And I know, Icicle, you had some stories to share last week. I'm looking forward to your presentation.
Thank you. That was an amazing presentation. And yeah, with those tools, I think it's going to be much better. Oh, no, I hear myself.
We only hear one of you.
So far, yeah.
Yeah, so far.
Okay.
And Karen also says, love the simplicity. Very cool. All right. Thanks for those comments.
Karen.
And
I'll go on mute now and let introducing Icicle Yone. I'll be part of that, and because I'm so honored to be a part of the same community as her, and it was great to meet you last year in Toronto. So thank you so much for that presentation too.
This is the second time you're introducing me. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Take it away.
Thanks very much.
All right.
Okay, you are up.
Yeah, I still do hear myself. I wish I could figure out why. But let me start sharing my screen.
Okay.
Okay. I think you can see me now. Well, not this one.
Ooh. That's always fun. Yeah.
All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to my talk and AR/VR Association. And thank you, Julie, for making my talk so much easier. I'm going to talk about immersive web and why it's important for your business. As mentioned, I'm Cloud Developer Advocate and Google Developer Expert in Web Technologies, and I'm also the co-chair of W3C Immersive Web Working Group. And here is where you can find my slides, and I have lots of resources for you and links, so please take a picture or get the link. 1 second. I think my Google Home is repeating me.
So that means we have a bigger audience.
I'm not sure if you were able to see this, but this is what happened last week. Unreal Engine had an issue with Apple Store and Google Store, where their biggest product was taken off the Play Store, which means that they can't make money for a certain amount of time. And also Apple threatened Unreal Engine to cancel all of their developer accounts, which would make it impossible for them to develop. And this is the issue with having these stores and being linked to some certain products very closely. And that's why web is an amazing place to be. Not only we have great tooling like MetaVRse, but also we have everything open and we decide what is going to be the future of our web. That brings me to World Wide Web Consortium, which is W3C. Our group produces some technical standards to decide how we will implement the newer APIs on the web. For example, how the new API is going to be usable, easy to use for developers, secure for users, which is very, very important to us, and going to be backward compatible, which is also something that you don't get from Unity development or Unreal development necessarily. We come together, multiple companies as well as individuals, experts come together to create these standards. And we have the discussions very openly and put out everything that we produce. We also do some education and outreach. Like this one that I'm doing, but also to educate developers for the upcoming APIs. We would like to develop more softwares to help the developers to help them achieve their goals, and create an open forum for the web where we can all discuss it together. The way the W3C works is we have some working groups which comes with the standards that are going to be implemented by the browsers. We also have some community groups. Community groups are any individual can join and start the conversation. Usually community groups do some experimentations and create their ideas about tooling or upcoming APIs. And once it's incubates long enough in the community group, we take it to the working group to turn it into standards. And below is our Immersive Web community group link. You can join today and be part of the conversation. As mentioned, in the community group, we have the first exploration period, and we investigate how we can do things and what are the implications and the security concerns and everything else. Once we have that period with the incubation of the specs, we bring it to our charter for working group and turn it into a spec. Currently, Immersive Web Working Group have WebXR Device API, WebXR Gamepads module, and WebXR AR modules. And the other group modules that are in the community group and they have been actively being worked on are the layers, anchors, computer vision, geo alignments, and many more. All of these discussions are happening openly on GitHub. And you can read the comments, read the explanations on the repositories, and if you think something is not very usable for you or any functionality that is missing for you, you can comment on it and we can discuss. Currently, we don't have everything that the mobile or head-mounted displays have as features, but these are all of the things that are going to come to web as well. So this is a visualization from a HoloLens 1. Why this is very important is that there's just so much information, very spatial information, and it's very, very important to have and share this information in a spatial concept and be able to analyze it. One of the new features of the HoloLens with HoloLens 2 is hand interaction, which is really, really important in this day and age with the COVID-19 going on. This allows you to interact with your interface, with your hands, which is a very natural way of interacting, and without having to touch anywhere. You can be a surgeon working on a surgery room and have the exact information that you need to have without having to touch anywhere and without losing any communication with your surroundings. We also have eye tracking support, which allows you to make the UX much more easier in the way that you don't have to move your head at all, but we can see where you're looking and highlight that and allow you to interact with that particular UX. Another really cool thing is being able to put the information in a context for other people. This is doable with the use of anchors, which is not implemented yet for our browsers, but it's one of the specs that we are working on and very excited about. Basically, this is an application called 365 Guides, which allows you to give you a very intuitive way of bringing some information to a 3D world and create some instructions for other people. You can see that this is very important for manufacturing or anywhere where skilled workers are very important, and educating those skilled workers takes a long time. This is one of the things that I did. I was able to fix the motorcycle because all of the information was laid out in front of me, although I had no idea about any name of the tools, anything else, but I was still able to function. Another thing which is possible right now on the web too, through WebRTC, is to have remote assistance. This is an application called Remote Assist from Microsoft 365 as well. You are able to connect to an expert, and then that expert is able to see exactly where you're looking and also can put some information like the arrows that you are seeing in this picture and say, this is exactly where you need to be working on. And it's not just headset displays. We have amazing capabilities on our phones, and this is one of my favorite applications, Google Maps API. This allows you to find your direction much easier than looking at a 2D map and trying to interact it. Especially if you're in a city where you don't know anything, you don't know any of the main streets or anything else. You come out of a train station and then it's really hard to tell which way to go. With this application, Google Maps, you are able to see which direction you exactly need to go because it adds these 3D arrows into your space. So how do we get there? There's a lot of great tooling happening on the web, and one of them is MetaVRse, of course. And as Microsoft, we have the Mixed Reality Toolkit, which is a bunch of components library, which you can use not only for a HoloLens, but also for Oculus, and you can even use it for the web. And this has hand interactions, some of the buttons and touch interactions enabled for you and made for you. All you need to do is drag and drop and start building your application. This really allows us to prototype really fast, and testing our ideas and making prototypes fast is a very important thing. And you can find the links here for the Mixed Reality Toolkit. Another really cool thing that from Microsoft is Babylon.js, and it's a 3D engine as well with a lot of tooling. What Babylon.js gives you is the backward compatibility, which you are not able to get from Unity or Unreal. Also being able to develop once and publish it into multiple platforms. You can use the same code base and add the Babylon.js native, which is a new module of the Babylon.js, and deploy it to your phone or mobile or headset. And it is a very modular library. So any module, you can use it or you can take it out. And it's very extensible at the same time. You have the ability to write some plugins and make your own modules and make it your own library. And it has some great tooling as well. What is coming next is hand interaction, hopefully any day now, which is still not native to web, but we have some other libraries too. Hand.js is one of them to make it available on the web for headset displays. Teleportation allows you to move between tabs on the web. It's as if you are doing it on your phone or on your computer. And it's really very important part of making web a smooth experience for immersive web. Sorry, I'm still getting super distracted by hearing myself over and over. Light estimation is very interesting. It's very important for augmented reality applications because it allows you to get the lighting information from your environment and make your 3D experiences blend into your environment much better. And kind of close to MetaVRse, but not as complete. There are more toolings coming up for animations, and we do have some tooling for shaders, which are node-based programming, which is really cool. And developing for JavaScript is not that hard. I think it's a really cool experience too. This is a very basic hello world of our WebXR experience. First thing we do is create a scene and a camera and then a lighting. And we have the XR helper that takes care of most of the XR-related things that you need to do. For example, in this image, what you see on this corner is the headset. It allows you to go into the experience as an AR or VR, and it's automatically handled by the XR helper. And all of these things, you are able to do it on your browser without even having to worry about opening up any code editor. And one really cool thing that this playground has is that if I click camera and then control space, it tells me, well, maybe not the camera, but environment. If I place a dot and if I click control space, it tells me what else I can do with this, basically giving you the IntelliSense capabilities of your browser. Once you have what you like, you can download TypeScript or JavaScript code from here as well. And now I would like to show you how it looks. I'm not going to hear you for a while. I hope everything goes well. Okay. Currently, I have this WebXR, and this is a web experience from Firefox, and I'm able to play. So let's go open up another experience from Firefox Reality. And this is what is happening right now. And as you can see, I have two options: enter VR or exit AR. Wow. My HoloLens decided to reboot. Oh. Okay, well, maybe I'll wait for it to reboot. And while we are taking the questions, all right. And I have all of these resources for you. I recently created a LearnXR Reddit community and created some sub chats as well for WebXR, Unity, or Unreal development. There's few YouTube channels that you can sign up for the future educational content and event content as well. And Babylon.js and the code examples for the HoloLens sample are all listed here. And I'm going to keep sharing my screen, and maybe we can go to the questions.
Hi. Yeah. Hi. So we do have Karen from YouTube, and her question is, apart from mapping and Office 365 Remote Assist, which functions are available for mobile that will also work on the HoloLens? Can we create something for mobile that could also be used for HoloLens?
Yes. So anything that we create, you are able to also deploy it to an Android or iOS application, except the fact that you can't use the hand interactions. Instead, you have to use the touch events on your phone, which I think the mixed reality toolkit automatically handles it when you change the configuration setting depending on the device that we are deploying to.
All right, and we have another question here from Fabio from Colombia. Do you know of any WebXR effort on education? And that touches back to what Julie was talking about earlier.
That's a good question. I am actually not sure. I haven't seen anything like that. One of the things that Mozilla did was create Mozilla Hub. And it's a community, well, it's a place where you can create 3D spaces. That could be a conference room, that could be a theater, that could be a classroom too, where you can go and interact with people. And it also has spatial audio, which allows people to gather in a corner and have a conversation and then walk over and talk to somebody else as well, which is really, really cool. I think that's a great tool and might be, you might be able to use it, and it's very extendable as well. But other than that, I'm not sure. That's a good question. I'm going to look into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mozilla Hubs is really accessible. Anybody can go create their private space and modify it a little bit, invite their friends in real time. It's so fast, right?
Yeah, and it's a great experience, even if you're using just the arrow keys on your computer as well. You don't actually have to be in a VR experience.
Right. Yeah. Okay, we have another question, but it's a big one, so I'm not going to put it on this. Well, let me see. If I put it on the screen, I don't want to cover. There you go. I thought it might cover you up, but we got you. All right. Ooh, good question. What's your comment on that?
That's a great question. And this question came last week too, and I was sad not being able to answer. So thank you, Sarah, for bringing it up again. We are very sad about this, obviously. I think Mozilla did a lot for WebXR. They had great content on their blogs, and it was really, really nice. And I was especially excited about Firefox Reality since it was available on HoloLens. But what is happening right now is they are just supporting Firefox Reality as it is. They're not going to be able to add more features to it. Hopefully, some other browsers will pick it up and continue developing. But they are supporting Mozilla Hubs, which is a great thing. I'm really happy about that.
Right.
But one thing that is also sad is that we had a lot of people with great contributions to W3C. We have two editors, and one of them is from Mozilla, and he's one of the employees who got affected. And I feel like this is sad for our diversity in the group. And that's also why your contributions, everybody coming to a community group to contribute, is even more important.
Great. Yeah, I'm going to bring back Julie onto the stream here. If you want to turn your camera on, and
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Great.
And I'll start up my camera as well. Let's see, maybe like, oops, sorry. I'm getting used to this software. By the way, this is web-based, and it's pretty awesome what you can do on the web. We do have a couple other questions, and this could be for anybody. So Fabio, he actually, let's put his question up here. He is working on a WebAR app for teaching chemistry. Fantastic. I mean, this web-based XR, AR, VR, to me, I think it's going to be vital for wide adoption of XR. It's very powerful.
Absolutely. And the story of what Epic's dealing with right now, and Apple is clearly like the barrier wall to access a lot of these things. So the conversation is here. And I don't know how it's going to play out. It's going to be really interesting, but I just know that the accessibility, especially for education, needs to be web enabled. We can't be downloading apps consistently and constantly, and this is the power of WebXR. So as soon as we can start to figure this out, and start to have all of these experiences without having the barrier of an app, is going to lead us to more education and learning and training and upskilling.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, did you have a comment there? Go ahead.
Yeah, so there's a periodic table experience for HoloLens, and I have a video of it on YouTube, but I'm not able to put it on the chat, so I put it on private chat if you guys can copy and paste and take a look. And I think it's really, really nice to be able to see things in 3D and much more effective. I'm excited about your project. Please do share once you have it.
All right, let me just get over there so I can share that.
Yeah, 3D just really introduces that interactivity, right? And it builds the spatial understanding of depth and perspectives and all of the things. And this is where we just don't, society doesn't know how to interact. And for a long time, I've kind of said in the background, like, we need to build a relationship with our technology. We need to marry it. We need to go in, and it needs to come out. And that is only going to take place when we start to interact with it. And that's why 3D is so important. It's like that stepping stone that's going to take us into a deeper, more virtual and immersive world. And, 3D can be used for so many different things, but especially education, where we're trying to solve the, how are we going to engage and interact with kids, especially remotely. Right. And, the struggle of the education systems, that's a whole seminar on its own. But, that just shows the actual need for us to be able to interact and engage with others with as easy access as possible.
Yes.
So if we're getting close to the end here, but this will be the last question. And thanks you again, both for being our guests. It's amazing. So Stephen, he is asking about HoloLens.
So could it be used for dynamic research? Yes, and we actually have a research mode specifically for scientific research, which allows you to get more data from HoloLens and have access to the cameras that normally you wouldn't have access to. And I've seen it being used a lot in neuroscience, for example. So people who have some kind of issue, neurological issue, like motor skills and things like that, then you can create these experiences where you can test and you can see the result of their hand interactions, eye movements, and everything else. It is really a cool tool, I think. And compared to other research tools, it's kind of cheap, on the cheap side for researchers.
That is actually a good point. And for members of the VR AR Association, I believe we just recently announced that members can sign out HoloLens too. So if you don't want to invest right away, but just experiment for a little while, that's one of the advantages of joining us.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. So basically what you can do is borrow a HoloLens from Microsoft and do your research. So AR, VR members are going to have access to that. It might not be super fast, especially right now with the COVID. I'm not sure how it's working out, but we also have some reactors in Toronto. These spaces called Microsoft reactors, where people can go in and work on the HoloLens as well.
Great. Well, this has been, like I say, really amazing. I'm glad that we did this. Got awesome questions from all over the world there. It's pretty neat. The power of the web, the open web. Thank you very much. And just before we leave, if you wanted to say how people can reach out to you the best way.
I can start.
Go ahead.
Put you on the spot.
Yes. You can find me anywhere with AYS something, because I think spelling of my name is really hard. So if you remember the first 3 letters and add something to it, you can find me anywhere. And please join if you're ready to join the LearnXR and ask your questions. And that would be a great way for me to get back to you with resources.
Sure. And for myself, you can find me at MetaVRse, Julie at MetaVRse.com. I'm also on LinkedIn as well, and a part of the student committees. I'm not far away, just like everybody else. You just have to hunt us down these days and you can find us. So message me and I'll be happy to share more resources. And to learn more about MetaVRse, just go right to our website and start playing around, try all the demos. All the QR codes are there. And if you have any questions, let me know.
I will definitely try it out.
I hope so. Thank you so much for having me.
You got it. So everybody stay safe, and we'll be back hopefully in a month and do another one of these webinars. We'll have other guests. Please reach out to the VR AR Association. We happen to be the Seattle chapter, but they're all around the world. You can join ours if you like, even if you don't live in Seattle. That would be awesome. We are out. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, everybody.